speaking of leadership positions, speaking of knowing a thing or two about leadership, we have the man, Andy Mariner. Grand is his call sign. Appreciate you joining us, sir.
Hi, Jamie. How are you?
Hey, doing well. Grand was our, I don't even know what you would call it. He was my technical advisor. He was my naval aviation consultant. He kind of gave me some inside look. I got to spend a little bit of time with him. I bought this little bear for my son when I was out Naval Air Station LeMoore. When I came out to visit you, I bought this. I always give a stuffed animal for my son, and so this was my thing. But he was also a former commanding officer at Top Gun. So appreciate you joining us tonight.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So going through this process, I know that the book can't ever be perfect. It can't ever be like everything's exactly on it. But was there, just like in Top Gun, you were there when Top Gun was being, or, there's things on the movie of Top Gun that maybe isn't quite the same as real life. Was there something in the book that you were like, or part of the story you were like, yeah, that probably wasn't 100% realistic. I could maybe see it happening, but it's not 100% realistic.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of like we talked about on the phone before is you're talking about an 06, a captain, very senior. I mean, I'm a captain, right? I've been around for a while. That guy's not getting a shot at Top Gun, right? Like we talked about. It's a little late in his career. Top Gun's a young man's game, right? That's for the young 20-somethings to go out and fight jets hard. Once you get old, it starts to get harder to climb in and out of an aircraft and pull 7.5, 8 Gs. So that's probably not the guy who's going to do that. He's probably the guy in charge. Or the guy they're asking to get him to Top Gun instead of the guy going through Top Gun. So that's kind of one of the things I saw. It's probably not totally realistic, but we have had some older folks that have gone through Top Gun, so it's not that far out of the realm of possibilities.
Yeah, well, we just want to be transparent here. Not everything is going to be perfect, and certainly I'm going to guess that nobody has ever gotten turned down 3 times or denied 3 times by Top Gun.
Well, there's been some guys that have been denied at least twice, right? That have tried to go twice and get turned down, and then they probably get that they're not going to make it, right?
Yeah, but yeah, we have to suspend reality a little bit. It's fiction, so we can't. It's not a documentary and it's not a history book. So I have Maverick in this book, and in the movie Top Gun there was Maverick. Which one's a bigger punk?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I actually kind of think the movie Maverick might have been a little bit of a bigger punk.
Well, he was probably a better volleyball player and rode that motorcycle better.
Probably.
So tell our listener, we got people watching all around the world right now, but we also have people that will be listening to this on our podcast when we release it in the audio version. Just give us a quick little, 30,000 foot view of what you do, of what your career's been, and why I approached you for this book, just to talk to you and do research with you.
Sure. Yeah. So, I started in naval aviation. I graduated from the Naval Academy in 2000, and immediately went to flight school, and I'm pretty much flown ever since. I went to Top Gun as a JO, got my patch, instructed, was the commanding officer of an operational strike fighter squadron on the East Coast in Virginia Beach. And then I got lucky enough to be asked to go back to the Top Gun and be the CO when I was done with my operational commanding officer tour, which was probably the greatest job you could ever ask for. It's probably the one flying job past your operational commanding officer tour that you can still keep doing. And then did that for a year and a half and went to strike, which is the kind of the counterpart in Fallon that teaches the air wings instead of the individuals. And then from there, I was lucky enough to screen for the next milestone, and now I'm the deputy commander of an air wing. So I have 8 squadrons working for me instead of 1. So I've had a pretty lucky, blessed career, if I do say so myself, and I've gotten to do a lot of really, really fun things in airplanes. So I'm not going to complain one bit.
No, that's awesome stuff. And the book, one of the things that's realistic but not realistic is, in a way, is that this guy, this Brady Maverick in the book, he constantly got turned down for Top Gun, and with good reason, because the guys at Top Gun are about as unselfish as it comes, even though they're extremely talented.
100%.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the guys at Top Gun, because one of the things that the character in the book says is, I thought it was when they said that it's the best of the best, I thought it meant me because I'm the most talented. I'm the best pilot. But that's not, best doesn't mean the most talented.
Sure. And I think you hit it on the head. And I think what our mantra that we beat into guys, so to speak, in Fallon is humble, credible, and approachable, right? Those are the three things we always tell them. And I think most people would probably be surprised if they met a Top Gun instructor on the street. Probably wouldn't be the person you're thinking of, right? He's still a type A meeting personality, but he's not going to show that. And he's probably going to be really good in the jet, and he's going to be really good at teaching people, but he's going to be very humble about it. He's going to call out all his own mistakes before he calls out anybody else's mistakes. And that's the kind of guy, like, if you're not going to do that at Top Gun as a student, you're going to get tried it from the course, because that's what they're looking for. They're looking to create the next generation of instructors and leaders to go back out to the fleet and teach the rest of the fleet how to do the tactics that we're coming up with.
Yeah, and I appreciate the time you spent with me a couple times on the phone, me going out there for a few days. I appreciate all that, because I wanted to get the book. It's not going to be perfect, like we said, but we wanted to get it as close to, like, this could be realistic. So sure. I appreciate that. And I appreciate, your service all these years in the Navy. It's awesome stuff. I just appreciate that. You a humble guy and serving our country and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that.
Love every minute of it. I thank you for that.
Awesome, my man. Well, I want to be respectful of your time. I know you're a busy dude commanding, all these people, and you got Thanksgiving holiday. That's awesome.
Yep. We're already traveled. I'm sitting at my in-laws' house. We've been on the road for 3.5 hours and just got here. So.
Oh man.
That's awesome. That's awesome. We'll have a great Thanksgiving at your in-laws. I don't know if that's possible, but try to have a good time.
It'll be good.
All right. Well, Grand, I appreciate it. My little bear appreciates it. So have a good night. Thank you so much for your help on the book.
All right. Thanks for having me on, and have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving.